This episode of the Topcast is proudly supported by Rock School.
So the fix isn't having to be perfect. It's not having to have endless repertoire at your fingertips. The fix is what I call having a reliable team toolkit. So if you walk in with this sense of having resources that you can purposely pivot to in your back pocket, that can really be a game changer for keeping your lessons in a place where you feel as though you still have a sense of direction and control.
You're listening to the Topcast, the original podcast for growth-minded instrumental music and voice teachers since 2015, with your host, Tim Topham. Our mission at Top Music is to empower instrumental music and voice teachers to find and nurture their innate creativity so that they can teach lessons that are innovative, integrated, and inspiring, and that will have a positive, lifelong impact on their students. Join us each week as we interview teachers and creators from around the world and unpack fun and exciting ideas to maximize your teaching and studio business success. The clip you just heard was from Andrea Dow, author of Wonder Keys and founder of Teach Piano Today, who you heard from last week in our focus about teaching teens. However, one of the things we kept coming back to during that conversation at the masterclass last time was that this idea of teachers really benefiting from having a toolkit of creative teaching ideas that you can pull out of your back pocket at any time and use them with confidence, especially when students arrive without books or in bad moods or just somehow clearly not themselves. And this isn't just teenagers, this could be students of pretty much any age. Instead of having to let your lesson go off the tracks and completely be taken by surprise, what you need is just some tools in your toolkit to keep things moving along. Even if it's not what you had in mind when preparing for the lesson, these are things that can keep things moving along. The great news is that I'm running a 30-day sprint that I'll be hosting for teachers globally, starting on the 29th of September, that's Melbourne time. So it's the 28th of September in the evening and afternoon if you're in the USA and UK. And the purpose of the sprint is to have me help you build this toolkit for your teaching. I am so excited to be bringing this to you because I know how valuable it is to have lots of creative teaching tools at your fingertips and to be able to use them with confidence. But I also know how hard it can be to stay focused and make progress on things like this and online courses and all that kind of stuff when you're really busy and you're trying to make progress day by day on your own. So this sprint is all about implementation and it's about connection. So I'm going to be helping you take small, achievable steps each day over those 30 days as you build your toolkit, and you'll be surrounded by me and a whole lot of other teachers from around the world to support you. So get that accountability to make those daily steps towards having a reliable teaching toolkit in your back pocket. That's what this is all about. I'm not leaving you to fend for yourself. We're going to be in the trenches doing it every single day. In the trenches sounds really serious. It's actually going to be super fun because I'm making it both practical and small chunks. Okay. So if you're ready to jump in and find out more, you can head right now to topmusic.co/sprint. Let me explain some more. Does this sound familiar to you? You'd love to be more creative, but maybe you're not sure where to start. You sometimes doubt yourself when a student hasn't made progress and seems to be disconnecting. You scramble to recover when a moody student derails your carefully planned lesson by showing up without books or not having practice or just in a bad mood. I call that getting the wobbles. You and your students maybe are a bit stuck in a method book or exam teaching rut and you're searching for ways to keep them motivated. And you'd love to use chords, lead sheets, pop progressions with confidence, but it feels a little outside your comfort zone. If that sounds familiar, if you've been there, you're definitely not alone. Every teacher experiences all of these things from time to time. But the good news is, in my opinion, that with the right back pocket toolkit, you won't be stuck like that again. So what will you actually gain from doing this sprint? Well, most importantly, you're going to walk away with a fresh toolkit of these back pocket activities to make lessons more engaging, fun, and creative. You'll also be ready to offer students a dose of the unexpected to add some novelty to your teaching without losing progress. And the research tells us that novel experiences, novel lessons, novelty in lessons, and creativity in lessons really help students with their learning. It will also give you activities that spark curiosity and deepen understanding. You'll also lose that wobbly feeling when students derail your lesson plan and you're like, oh, what do I do now? This isn't going quite how I planned. You're going to be gaining confidence teaching chords and pop progressions. You're going to learn how to use lead sheets with students and have examples ready to try. And you're going to understand how to make the first reading pieces for students. So those students that are just starting to learn to read right hand only in their method books, I'm going to show you a trick to make those experiences 100% more valuable. And this is one of the most biggest missed opportunities, I think, that most teachers don't even realize. So we're going to be uncovering that too. We're going to talk about how to remix student repertoire to deepen understanding and boost practice motivation. And we're going to explore the power of 4 chords for composing and improvising. In short, after the 30 days, you'll finish with this ready-to-use creative teaching toolkit, your back pocket plan for any lesson curveball. Plus, you're going to have absolute confidence in how to approach and integrate this style of teaching into your routine. So, how does the whole thing work? Well, the most important thing to realize is this is not another course that you'll never finish. It's a 30-day sprint with tiny daily actions that you can actually do and then use immediately with your students. Because we all know that reading about something or even watching a video about something without doing it is only half the learning. It's probably a quarter or even less of the learning. Yes, you'll pick up something, but until you try it with a student, it doesn't really embed in your body, and the toolkit then becomes much harder to access. So if you can actually use these skills and try them out with a student, learn about them, try them out, which is what I'm encouraging everyone to do as part of this sprint, then you're going to learn so much more and they're going to remember these tools much better.
RSL Awards leads the way in creative education. We make qualifications and resources for everything from graded music and performing arts exams to practical vocational qualifications in sound engineering, theatre, and games design. So, if you want to be a musician, actor, lighting designer, dancer, or video game creator, we can help. Our success stories include million-selling artists like Ed Sheeran and the sound engineers who record him at studios like Abbey Road. Over 1 million people have an RSL certificate on their wall. So if you want to join the next generation of creatives, visit rslawards.com to find out more.
So what we do is at the start of each week, we kick off with a live call with me. And that's going to be on Mondays at 8 a.m. Melbourne time. So it's Sunday afternoon in the USA and evening in London. And that's going to set the stage for the week ahead. So each week of the 4 weeks has a slightly different theme. And so during that time, I will sort of set things up, the why and the background to what we'll be doing that week. There'll be a Q&A, a chance to connect with other teachers. And of course, we will record that and there will be replays. So if you can't be live at that, then you will definitely be able to still access it. So that's the first day. That's on the Monday of each week, Melbourne time. Then during the week, you'll be sent 5 daily mini tasks. You're going to receive them by email. They're going to take anything up to from sort of 5 to 15 minutes to sort of read about, absorb, and do. And then I hope you will spend another 15 minutes, even 5 minutes, with a student trying that out in the lesson that you have that day or in the next couple of days, because not every tool will suit every student. And what we then do is we build up, therefore, 5 days, 5 new ideas each of the weeks. So you'll end up with 5, 10, 15, 20 new tools for your toolkit. We'll also be setting up a pop-up Facebook group where you can share progress, swap ideas, meet some other people, stay accountable, etc. Now, if you're not a Facebook user, that's totally fine. You're not going to miss out particularly on any of the content because that's coming to you through me and through emails and our Zoom meetings. But if you are a Facebook user, that's going to be a great place you could share videos, ask more questions, etc. So each week has 2 catch-up or rest days because we know life happens. People get sick. Things get in the way. So that's why I only give you 5 tasks in a 7-day week. So you've got a couple of days to catch up if you need to. And then we'll pull it all together with one bonus wrap-up call right at the end to sort of celebrate how we've gone and to talk about what we've achieved. So you're probably wondering, what do the 4 weeks actually look like? So here's a brief outline, and this is subject to change depending on how things go. But at the moment, in week 1, I'm going to be talking about things, but in week 1, I'm calling it riffing on what you know. So I'm going to be talking about creativizing, yes, I know that's not a real word, your everyday teaching with fresh twists, like my scale vamps, drum machines, harmonizing method books, a few cool apps and some games. In week 2, we're looking at chord quick wins. I'll talk about my big small method, some iconic pop progressions, slash and sus chords, and quick fire ways to connect Beethoven with Adele. Week 3 is all about lead sheets. what they are, where to find them, how to use them, how to teach them. From Christmas carols to classical melodies, we're going to explore left-hand patterns, styles, and how to use these chords to make your students sound amazing. And in week 4, we're talking repertoire remixing. Mashing up pieces your students already know, from blues to classical. Learn to adapt any piece and deepen students' understanding at the same time. This is one of the biggest, coolest, simplest ideas for your back pocket toolkit. So why join the 30-day sprint? Well, if you've ever taken a course or started it and not finished it, or taken an online workshop and not ever looked at it, then this is the kind of thing I would recommend you try. The 30-day sprints are really action-packed, small pieces over a longer period of time, but designed to help you implement them. I'm really, really conscious of encouraging and helping you implement these ideas into your teaching so that they become second nature. You'll also want to join because teaching feels better when you're confident and creative. And because students stay motivated when lessons are fresh, fun, and flexible. And we've already talked about that novelty and the importance of it. And I would say join because having a back pocket plan means fewer wobbles when things don't quite go to plan, because that's going to happen all the time, right? And why join? Because it's fun to learn alongside other teachers, right? So the sprint runs this year from September 29 to October 27. And it's open to all teachers wherever you are, whether you're a TopMusicPro member or not. This is open to everybody, and I would love as many people as possible to come and join us. So if you're ready to find out more, just head over to topmusic.co/sprint, where you'll find all the details and your chance to sign up. I'll see you there. How do you keep up to date with all the latest trends and research into music education? How do you connect with other teachers around the world and make sure your teaching stays fresh and relevant for students of all ages and stages, both now and into the future? I created our TopMusicPro membership to be the one-stop shop for music teaching resources, training, support, and community, and I'd love for you to come and join us inside. With over 40 comprehensive training courses, hundreds of teaching demonstrations and lesson plans, free monthly sheet music, discounts, and all the business and pedagogy support you could ever need, TopMusicPro is the community you've been looking for. If you're ready to level up your learning from the podcast and join thousands of other teachers in our global network, head over to topmusicpro.com today. If you enjoy this show and want to hear more of our work, be sure to subscribe to this podcast wherever you're listening today. For links and resources mentioned in this episode, visit us at topmusic.co/podcast or check out the show notes. I'm Tim Topham. Thank you so much for listening. Enjoy your week ahead, and I'll catch you next time.